So, hi everyone, I've just been guided, don't know if I'm right, looking at the right camera, I'm being guided to do a twin flame ascension message. So, I'm going to use the affirmation for today, but if you're new to me, my name's Claire, so hi, and I do a lot of things, so just read the wee info bit if you want to know, but welcome to the Soul family. If you're hanging around, please subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. If you want to, that might be a bit soon. You might need to get to know us around here. But what I was going to say is I read these affirmations every day on my shorts, but I'm feeling guided to read this one today as well. I've done this for absolute years. I used to channel them out and write them on my Facebook and my Instagram, but now I tend to just stick to here. Healing happens. I get my mind out of the way and I allow the intelligence of my body to do its healing work naturally. So somebody needed to hear that. I feel it's about, settling your mind from overthinking and knowing that your body has that natural ability to heal itself. It's quite interesting because that's so random, but what isn't when I'm doing this? So, and again, I can't bother giving this chat, but yeah, if you're new around here, every word of what I'm saying is channeling. If I'm going cockeyed, it's because I'm like, what camera do I look at? I get really bad hay fever, right? And when I juice celery, it just basically fucks off completely. So if you can keep up with that, try it. At least try it, right, for a couple of weeks and let me know how you get on. But I kind of fell off the celery wagon because I don't actually like celery, to be honest. It's disgusting. Like, I know that people are like, oh, it doesn't really taste that much, but I'm like, I don't like it, but it does help. But anyway, I'm going to get back to it today. But why they're getting me to say that is because it's like, I never found that antihistamines worked for me. Like, I used to take the antihistamines, the nasal sprays, the eye drops, we've got white things now. What else? I've probably missed out one of the really obvious things. That laser, it was a light thing. When I used to go to Tea in the Park, the festival, I used to have all this shit. There was quite a lot of us that suffered with that, and it was a light, invested. It wasn't loads of money, but I think it was like 40 quid or something because it was like light thing. Anyway, I don't know why I'm going on about all this. Maybe actually light healing, because light and sound is what the Lemurians used to heal with, and I do feel we are. I know for a fact we're going back to that. I mean, some people have been in that. I've been in that energy for fucking years. I think I was born coming in knowing about that, and lots of friends of mine. But it's basically, yeah. There's I wonder if I'm gonna get that. Oh God, they're pulling my eyes over or something over there. But yeah, it's about a return to healing with light and sound. It's kind of like when I've said when I went through my dark night of soul, what really healed me was listening to binaural beats. But nowadays what I say is, because a lot of people cottoned onto that, including the dark, is I would be very careful, make sure that you feel good. So try maybe, see, probably before you sleep to all night, because there are ones that are like 8 hours and that are intended for that. I would maybe kind of stay awake, maybe kind of do a bit of a meditate, stay awake during one, during the day, and just see how it makes you feel. Because instantly, the one I used to listen to, it was like, I always say this, but it was like 4 million views, like 2016, whenever I was listening to it. And now it's like, it's weird, I hadn't listened to that one for ages. And it's like 9 million, but I mean, obviously that makes sense, it's a lot of years later. But instantly I just feel lifted. So I know that that's good for me. But even that can change, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or anything. It's just it doesn't resonate anymore. Because obviously, if I stopped listening, it was just probably I didn't need it as much, and I was doing other stuff. But I wasn't in my dark night soul anymore. That's what it was too. But I mean, we all need a bit of heart healing. You know what I mean? But anyway, there's something about that, using natural healing stuff, because I've stayed in because the hay fever's been so high here, and it was, oh my God, it was horrendous. It was so bad. One day last week, it was I was practically crying. I was pretty much crying. And obviously the tears are streaming anyway, so I don't mean that. I just mean it was like, it was miserable. But it was also when it was also when they were opening up, there was the Sirius Amazing Energy portal and the portal to hell. So, I did say it was like a portal to hell. Anyway, moving on. moving on. And yes, that is real. For anyone that thinks that's a conspiracy theory or anything, you've got a shock coming your way. I actually kind of think, to be honest with you, like, we're living in hell already. Look at what's been going on in the last couple of years. We've been living in hell. We've been living in hell a couple of years. I mean, starseeds would say we've been living in hell the whole fucking time. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, or introverts, same thing. But yeah, to me, this kind of heat is hell. I mean, it's like, well, I think today it's cooler. Yesterday it was like, fucking, it was right up to like 26 or something. I was like, nah, I'm not going out in that. Like, I'm not going to affirm that, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'll fry. Not happening. Don't enjoy it at all. Today I can handle it. I think it's maybe going to go to 23 later, which is still far too hot for me, but it's 19 just now, which is actually still too hot. I mean, yeah, I think the most I can handle is maybe when I got burnt, which I'm still, you can still see. Can you see here? Like my whole arm was burnt. It was 21, but the sea, yeah, you can kind of see, see here, that definitive line. My whole arm was red raw. I was in pain for quite a few days. Anyway, just having a wee chat, guys. You know, the hashtag newbies are gonna have been, the hashtag newbies are gonna be like, fuck this, she's just fucking chatting about hay fever and sunburn. What the hell? I came for a card reading. Sorry, that's me. That's how I heal. Oh, they're showing you. Yes. Because the hashtag oldies round here get it. Nothing to do with age, it just means you've been on the journey with me for a while. Obviously, if you're soul family, even the newbies, you've just reunited, you found home. We were all connected at some point. Yeah, they're showing you that it's like I heal with my voice. So this is what I've said for years. It doesn't matter whether I'm telling you what I had for my tea every night for the past week, or whether I'm channeling about some, you know, the energy or the astrology or something, or whether I'm using the cards to, you know, add the picture to tell the story. It really doesn't matter. I mean, shamans tell stories, and I'm a good storyteller of the truth. But it's kind of like, and I'm not being modest about that, literally. Whenever anybody else gives me any kind of reading or healing, they say it all the time. And even people that don't know me, it always comes through. I'm a natural storyteller. It's natural teacher as well, but I mean, I'm Sagittarius moon. That is about learning and teaching. I really learn from my own experiences, most of them shit, and I come back and teach. You're welcome. Right, before I did pull a card there when I was shuffling then. So basically all of that was about the power of light and sound to heal. Now I think I should go and pull one of those Lemurian decks. Where is that actually? Where's that specific one? But when I woke up this morning, they were talking to me about. Right, okay, so it was out of this deck, which is good. I'm going to use, but I'm going to specifically go to the card that I pulled, and then we'll see if it comes out again. What I felt going on for a lot of the twin flames, not all of them, but a wave of twin flames was, it was a card I pulled called Karmic Purge. Now I pulled Karmic Purge for divine masculine energies regardless of sex, in their conscious mind, and then I pulled it in the subconscious for divine feminine, which I found fascinating, because that is how the divine masculine and divine feminine work together. So processing karmic debris, breakthrough. It wasn't that card, but that just pulled my mind in. Pulled my mind in? What the fuck, man? I don't even know what that means, but that's got to have something to do with it. That just pulled my mind in. Yeah, what I felt was happening, and it wasn't pleasant, and what they were saying to me was, it's, you know, because I'm a wayshower, I go through things before other people. Most of the time, for the majority of the time that I've had my business, it's been years in advance. Like when I went through my dark night soul, I went through it really, you know, I've not met too many people that got it that rough. Obviously there are people out there, but I was in mine for a long ass years, and yeah, it was rough, but basically it's made me who I am today, blah blah blah, all that shit. But generally what happens is I go through things before people so that I can integrate the energy, learn about it, and then teach about it, talk about it basically. And so, but sometimes it's like sometimes it's years, sometimes it's like a couple of months, a month, sometimes it's weeks. Very rarely is it days, but I mean, it's not impossible. There could be people finding this that are at similar parts of the journey to me. I actually feel there is. But obviously nobody's got the exact same experience. But what I'm saying is, in case people are like literally we're going through that yesterday or going through it this week, or like say, just keep in mind that you might go through this a bit further down the line. But it was basically what I felt was going on was divine feminine energies were feeling their divine masculines going over the past, going over anywhere where they may perceive that they have hurt their feminine, regardless of gender. So if you are divine feminine energies and you just happen to be getting loads of kind of things coming back to you, like, oh, what have I done with my hair? Things coming back to you from the past about things that maybe made you angry or upset or confused, anything like this. And if you're kind of thinking, why am I thinking about that? Like, I've forgiven them for that, or that was ages ago, or whatever. It's because your divine masculine is in the process of forgiving themselves either right now, or they might have already forgiven themselves for it, and it's just coming up again. But basically, it's like, oh, yeah, healing happens. It's like, that's how we heal, bringing the darkness to light. And like I always say, like, none of us are angels. There's certainly stuff in my life that I've done that I'm not proud of. Most of it, probably all of it, would be involving alcohol, which is why I don't drink. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, there's a real forgiveness in the air. And again, we're towards the weekend there. I mean, it's only Tuesday right now, but towards the weekend we'll be in Pisces moon, and that is about unconditional love, forgiveness, and twin flames. So, but yeah, there's a lot of healing going on. So basically, sorry, and now I'm burping, so clearing the energy. Of course, because it's a full moon tomorrow, full moons are about releasing in the past. I didn't say that actually in all the shorts I just channeled. I didn't mention that specifically. I went on about Pisces being the past, but full moons are about releasing as well. So absolutely releasing the past and karmic debt and karma. And that's what they were saying to me. So that's why that was going on. It's like Saturn rules Capricorn, and Saturn is, and when I look away, by the way, it's just my clairvoyance. I'm trying to remember it's it's not really remembering. It's like I'm trying to listen, and I don't know why I have to look away. I just do. It's my clairvoyance. I feel like someone must be wondering why she's not looking at the camera. But yeah, basically, Saturn rules Capricorn, and because this is a Capricorn full moon, it's like karma, it's destiny, it's timing. It very much feels like the Wheel of Fortune is turning. Fated, destined, which is really exciting when it comes to twin flames. It's really excited. It's like fated and destined twin flame unions are coming together miraculously. I feel like even where people have felt it was a bit impossible for whatever situation's going on, there's amazing things sort of shifting and changing and coming about. And unfortunately, it does mean that some people are having massive tower moments that are going to catapult them towards their twin. But it's not ideal, is it? You wouldn't choose it that way, but then some could argue both your souls did choose that way. Even karmic energies have chose to get involved in this as well. Everybody's souls have chose to get involved in this fuck up. So that we can all blossom into who we really are. 1344 translated 24-hour clock 144. Anyway, ground, shield, and protect. But it feels like, I wasn't going to make it this long, but anyway, we'll keep going with it. It feels like you need to ground, shield, and protect because of that going on. Because of I only got this deck yesterday. I'm loving it. It's like quite a nice wee size. You need to ground, shield, and protect because of the twins going through tower moments. So what they're saying to me is interesting. Even if you're not a divine feminine, a divine masculine that's going through like a tower moment, like a karmic breakup, or karmic breakups with family or karmic breakups with friends can be just as bad. Some friends can feel like family. That can be a real severing to the soul when you're like, oh, this person's been around like 20 years and now they're not. And then but when it's right, as if you'll have a period of grieving, but then you go to being really calm and happy, and you're like, oh, and it's not that they were never meant to be in your life, it's just they're not meant to be in your life anymore. And that's, I suppose, when I was saying that, no, I suppose it was definitely about karmic stuff of any kind. They're pulling me the karma cards. This is what I mean, it's coming in really fast. What comes around? The free fates, right? Sorry, I'm being a bit dramatic. Look at them, they don't look too friendly. So for somebody that's tuning into this, there's 3 people that have not treated you very well, or 3 people that haven't treated your twin flame very well. Could be like friends. These don't have to be women, but I mean, I'm just saying they are women. So it could be 3 women. It could be, I suppose it could be like, you know, a woman, 2 women and a man. It could be like, it could be people's family. It could be people's friends. It could be hidden friends, hidden enemies. It could be, these don't need to all be together either. Like it might just be like you've got a friend here, a friend there. It could be just be people being revealed that aren't shapeshifters, is basically what I'm saying. They're not who they've appeared to be. Or it could be like less sinister, and it's what I said about friends that you've fallen out of resonance with. But either way, because they were talking about that, it's kind of like, it's people that like, so say you're in a situation where you're like, oh, that person would totally have my back, they're loyal, I've had their back, I've done everything for them, you know, and then it's like, I'm being shown a situation where like, absolutely not, like, you know, like something happens and it's kind of actually, I'm feeling embarrassed. So it's like either this has happened or I hope it doesn't happen to you, but it's kind of like happens to the best of us. It's kind of like, you know, it's almost embarrassing how this person is just really fickle. And I feel it is a few people. That just, it's almost as if they couldn't give a fuck. And it's to push you on this twin flame journey to realise that you need to give more a fuck about yourself than caring about everybody else. You know, the people that you care about are, you know, look after yourself first and foremost, and your soul family. And rather than giving all your energy to people that would stab you in the back in a heartbeat, that's really strong, but that's what they're saying. What comes around, so I mean, obviously that's reminding me of the Justin Timberlake song, what goes around comes around. So karma, and this film is about karma. So like I said before, we don't necessarily want that. Well, hopefully you don't want that at all, because, wait a minute, I don't know if you can hear me. Where are those cards? Through here. I like that song. I don't feel that's about twin flames. I feel it's about like karmic partners that have fucked. Twin flames over, actually, if you think about the video. I'm just going to pick one off the floor. I don't know where these, that's a bit annoying though. I don't know where they are. Communication, right. Resulting from fluctuations. What is believed about, well, basically it's Gemini energy. So I really do feel there's, oh, we're not doing that. Jeez, we're not putting the hairband there. Yeah, I feel there's going to be, there's just a whole lot of communication going on. Venus is in Gemini. Wait a minute. I'm a bit out of sync. I normally always know. Yeah, I was like, it is, isn't it? Why was I thinking Cancer there? Oh, the moon's wet in the Capricorn now. That's probably why I'm really serious. So yeah, Venus is in Gemini, and Gemini is about communication. Venus is love, obviously. So again, there's conversations about love. But see, it's not just, it is romantic love, obviously, twin flames, but this is also about what is love? That's hilarious. My guys are too funny. But you know, he's, baby, don't hurt me no more. Wow. See, when you can look past the humour of the songs that I get in, that means something. But what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. So yeah, it's people are basically, this isn't love. And I don't just mean romantic love. I mean, like, this is not, so this could even be family members or friends that are like family, like, or soul family, fucking fake soul family. But it's kind of like, you know, this isn't love, basically. Someone's realising that. And that's why I was getting confused, Jim. Actual Mercury is in Cancer with the Sun. And that is family, that is soul family. Right, so I feel like, how long's this been? 20 minutes. I feel like, now I was actually going to, I don't know, I was actually maybe going to get in the swing of things, because like I've said before, with my unique soul blueprint astrology, and I can look at yours if you want me to tell you all about your soul. People love those sessions. They're pretty life-changing. They're also very long, so they are an investment, but it's one well spent. People have went on to do amazing things after getting that session. Yeah, I think I am going to use these new twin flame cards that I got. Yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can do a wee video daily, but we'll just see how I go with that. Let's get that book. So what I'm saying is this one's longer today, but I wouldn't do them this long, and I also wouldn't do them if I'll maybe film. Oh, anyway, stop over explaining yourself. Look at how I'm over explaining myself. So what I'm saying is this one's long today, but the other ones might do this one. And anyway, as if anybody's going to bother. Right, so, like, do you know what I mean? I could do what I want. So that's a message for one of you. Stop over explaining yourself. You know what I mean? It's like when I see people being cheeky bastards in other people's comments. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just fucking cheeky, isn't it? Like, there's some people that, like, honest, not some people, everybody on YouTube is given their sharing their experience and things that they've learned to help people. And there's some people who are, like, so demanding and rude. Anyway, we'll not go on about that because we don't get that around here. So if you're new and you're like that, I wouldn't even bother because I've got very strong boundaries. But, right. Where is this card? What goes around? What goes around? What goes around? Where is the... What was it called? 26. Oh, it's called the Free Fates. Whatever. Where is it then? Oh, there it is. Right, 26. Yeah, see... I mean, if I just looked at the number, but never mind. Giving someone a laugh out there. Right. And of course, if you'd like to book a personal session, I can squeeze you in on a Zoom session at some point, an hour Zoom session. The link will be below, or, you know, just email soulfam, what the hell is it again? soulfamwolfpack@gmail.com. It'll be in the comments, you know, but that's basically what it is. If it's particularly personal, you can email me at clair-everything@gmail.com, but I prefer you email the first one because that's why I set it up. And that is my lovely assistant, my angel. She'll help with that. And it's really just to, you know, to direct you with what would be best. But I would always just say, you know, basically, if you've never had any type of session with me, I would prefer that you book the live Zoom session so that I know who you are. And yeah. And people that I've done stuff for before, I can do the recorded stuff for and that. But again, if I don't know you, I'd prefer to at least meet you once on the live Zoom. That's my rules, that's my boundaries. Because, you know, it's just I've had friends of mine that complaining about all these kind of, you know, getting people, tricking them that, like, well, why are you allowing that? You know what I mean? Don't allow that then. See, I teach a lot of friends of mine that do similar, loads of, and most people I attract are a lot older than me. I've got a lot of, like, healers, mediums, like, loads over the years that come to me as a bit of a sounding board. So, and it's pretty handy when I need a bit of that too. Right, so why am I? So I think they're really getting me going about it. You know, that it was like a client had said to me. Quite a few clients have said over the years. It's like, you know, well, basically, I'm a healer for healers. So, and I, like I always say, I feel we've all got healing of some kind within us, but I suppose, you know, and I can say it and people ignore it, but if people are out there and you do healing work yourself and you're wanting somebody to be a mirror for your own deeper work and your own shadow work, then, you know, this is what I do for people that like my vibe and know, like, and trust me. And like I say, a lot of these people are friends. I might have met them through different kind of healing modality things, and yeah, you probably would be most of it the internet, if not all of it. I've got some friends that I've met in different, but what I'm trying to say is it's like, yeah, if you've kind of lurked, I suppose it would be someone that had lurked in the background a bit, and you know it's basically I've got a lot of experience and I could help you, but it's not really what they're trying to say to me is it's like everybody needs to be heard and valued and listened, and it's quite right. What they're saying to me is it's like when I was a counsellor in the Matrix. I had my own counsellor, which wasn't a necessity. I think it should be when you're learning that. I really strongly stand by that because I'm like, otherwise I feel you're being a hypocrite. If you're training as a counsellor, sorry, that's going to trigger people, but I think it's true. If you're training in counselling and you are somebody's counsellor, but you've never had a counsellor, how does that work? It just doesn't make sense to me. So I instantly was like, I need a counsellor. And thank God, it was the best fucking decision I ever made. And I say it all the time. People that are in my inner circle get sick of me saying it. But the thing is, it's true. Like, it was the best thing I ever done. It's how I've got such a strong sense of self. And talking to angels, my counsellor's an angel. I very much hope to bump into her one day because she retired. But yeah, I will. I know I'll see her again. But basically, yeah, it's God, I'm in fucking chatty cafe mode, haven't I? I just need to get out for my coffee and fucking get out in the real world. Do you see, somebody's been hermiting too much for me to say the real world. I don't really agree with that, but just when you're talking to myself, I've fucking lost a bit. Like, this is getting my tits. I've lost the page, guys. I've lost the page. 107. Right, slow down, Claire. Yeah, the point of me saying that was, don't be proud. That's it. That's what they're saying. Like, I just see so many amazing healers, mediums, whatever, and like people are so proud. Like, but it's like everybody needs help. You know what I mean? Like I say, I shout it loud and proud that I had a counsellor for 7 years. I actually really would still be with her if she didn't retire, to be honest. And should I feel like I really want somebody, I want a counsellor again, somebody that's not a family member, a friend, to sound things off, I will get one again, trust me. But I feel that you know, 7 years is a karmic cycle too, and I'm talking a lot about karma. Like, that solid foundation is probably enough for me. Do you know what I mean? And then when I need that mirror and back reflection, then I'll be led to, like, say, another healer that I trust, depending on what it is I need. So if it feels like I need a reading, it'll be a card reading to reflect back to what I already know, because that's what I do for you. You already know, and I just reflect back what you already knew. There might be some things I tell you didn't know, because, like, I see the future and all that shit, you know what I mean? Tap into the future timelines, but it's you would have had some, most people have some sort of sense, and it's like I pull it out and and it makes it possible. And then other, you know, if I feel I need a soul retrieval, I would be, if I didn't feel I could do it myself, I would get, you know, somebody to help me with that, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, somebody needs a wee bit of a Capricorn ass whooping, energetic ass kicking around. Stop trying to do it all yourself, because just because you need help from someone else, it doesn't mean you're not capable. It actually means you're strong enough to ask for help. Well, don't know who needs to hear that. It's happening again. Many of us have faced difficulty and troubled times in our lives. Sometimes the impact of a negative experience is so profound that it leaves us with physical, mental, and yes, spiritual residue for months, even years after the actual event. How weird is that? That's like when I was talking about people that you let go of out your life, karmic energies, and being upset for a while. And then, while you're still vibrating, as the free fates put it, to the energy of a negative experience, you tend to repeatedly attract echoes of that exact experience. Right, I get it already. This is about karma repeating. So this is about twin flames, divine feminine, divine masculine. Usually divine feminines have went through this at this point. If I'm, for what I can only go by my clients and what I pick up the collective, the divine feminines that tend to be attracted to me, although I must admit, again, this is, oh wow, how interesting, this is why I'm saying it, few and far between, because I'm here to heal divine masculine energy regardless of sex, mainly in women, very occasionally men. And if it's men, I'm helping you through these videos because I don't tend to get loads of bookings of men yet. But that tells you something. I do feel I will attract women that are at the same level as me or have went through a lot of the same experiences. They don't book. They might watch, I don't know. I don't get loads of views right now. So they might watch now, or this might be some point in the future, but they don't reach out for help to me anyway. And that's fine, you know, maybe they're finding someone else. But what I'm saying is that that needs to change, because divine feminines need support as well. How interesting. Like you can't do it all yourself. That's basically what they're saying. But yeah, what I was going to say is it's divine masculine energies that are tending to repeat the karmic lessons right now. And you might still be a divine feminine that is stuck in a karmic loop, but I feel you'll be doing something about it. And I'm only saying this because it's like I was stuck in karmic loops, but the karmic things that I felt I was stuck in a cycle and not coming out of for quite a while, I got out of it all last year. In quite a big way. So that's why I'm saying I feel the current divine feminines that are going to resonate with this mostly. It'll be your twin flame that's getting out of karmic, or you. For most of my audience, soul family, whatever, it's you. You know, regardless of sex, it's you that is getting out of repeating karmic loops. And like I say, it's there will still be karmic things that I will repeat, but right now it's like before I could have told you right away what it was, but now it would be smaller scale sort of things rather than big things. It's like, oh, why is this always happening? Because you get to a point where you're like, I can't do this anymore, and that's when big changes do happen with friends, family, romance. If you were romantically involved with someone, my soul's just been like, that's too much like hard work. I'd rather be single for 20 years. You heard right, just shy of it. Doesn't mean I've been celibate for 20 years, I might add, but a little bit. So when you need to be alerted, because, and the thing is, it's like, I'm proud of that, because it means my sexual energy is very powerful and very sacred, and I don't just share that shit with anyone, you know what I'm saying? So when you need to be alerted to that fact, the free fates will enter, showing you that this is a karmic pattern that may need to be worked on, understood, and recreated in order to be free of its influence. You may feel that there are others in charge of your fate, that they're threading the needle, weaving the patterns of the tapestry of your life, even choosing what ends and what begins. When you feel that fate has interceded and that you're not so much in control of your life, but in control of your reaction to what happens in your life, then you're beginning to work with intelligence, maturity, and understanding. Yes, again, this is about divine masculine energies, regardless of sex. Being able to, and I do get this, because even with a lot of the women that I work with, it's like, I can only go by the women, because like I say, it's I know men are going through this too, but it's healing their inner child. So where perhaps like there wasn't nurturing that was needed as a child, like, you know, learning to self-soothe and giving that back to yourself and mothering yourself. It's Cancer season about mothering yourself, putting up your boundaries, standing up for yourself. But again, divine masculine is doing this. Men as well are doing this. Being true to yourself, and the universe will reward you. Like you might be the year that I am actually. You don't need to be, but it's like, you know, it says be true to yourself, and the universe will reward you. Funny little picture. But again, throat chakra is what that says to me. Speaking up for yourself, yeah. I just done shorts and I pulled the card back off twice, 2 days in a row, and it was around the full moon. So I think it must be for today. Shit, yeah. So it must be for like Tuesday the 12th and the full moon Wednesday the 13th. I pulled back off. Or it was Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. And I actually started talking about the back off card from the one I'd done before, and then I pulled back off again. So again, it's like what I'm saying is, well, this is very in line with if you'd like to be doing my, I didn't mean to see, my guides are so clever the way they pull in my offers, but I'm going to be offering the activate, awaken, and amplify your clairs package, which is basically, it's like psychic school, guys. It's like basically we're on a Zoom. I don't run it unless there's 4 of you, so 4 or more. I don't know actually what the maximum amount would be that I would want, as long as it's even numbers. But anyway, probably no more than 8. But I'll think about it later. But yeah, and basically I put you on the spot and give you like sort of like things to to bring out your clairs, and then I pop in and out the Zooms and help you with my experience, my expertise to help you, and everybody loved it again, because I'm a good coach, I'm a good cheerleader, and this is my area of expertise. So I'm really excited to do that again, and I've been waiting. I felt I was going to do it in Leo season, and but I need to kind of work out, because I am going to have a wee bit of a holiday, a wee bit of a break at some point in Leo season. So that might actually be really soon. So if you're interested in that, then definitely email that Soul Fam email to find out more, or you'll just see me saying it. But the fact that I'm being guided to say it now is a good indication. That goes for anything. If you're wanting to get into therapy with me as well, now would be the time to say, so that we can get it set up. I like to kind of start with people around new moons and, well, new moons, yeah, and then, you know, full moon, yeah, but I like to start around a new moon, but we don't need to. But if you'd like to, you know, get on board with any of that, then definitely get in touch as well. Right, anyway. Well, right. When the energies of destiny, fate, and fortune, this is like what I said earlier, the three fates depicted so beautifully here with their ever turning wheel of karma, understand, and that's what this full moon in Capricorn is about, karma, understand that it turns and turns as your life will through its many themes again and again. When you receive this card in a reading, and most especially if she leaps out to greet you, you will know an old pattern has circled around once again. So, just to be clear, if you're at a point in your life, divine feminines, I'm going to say, where you feel like you pushed through a lot of this, recognizing where there was an unhealthy karmic cycle happening, and you feel like you've pushed through it, look to where there's smaller sort of annoyances, is what they're saying to me, because I definitely know there is in my life. But the big ones, it feels like I got through the big after after fucking 20 years or something of healing myself and getting healing from others. Do you know what I'm saying? It felt like, wow, like, honestly, like, anyway, I'll need to write a book on it, and I will. For divine masculine energies, you know, man, woman, whatever you identify as, this is about, like, you're either in the process of this, like realizing where you keep repeating a pattern, and doing something about it, or you've actually done something about it, and this is you stepping, you know, out of that experience, or perhaps you already have. Here it is again, this situation, that person, this lesson that you have yet to learn and that you've spent a lifetime learning. It seems you need another cosmic reminder of something that needs to be cleared and mastered. Letting go in this moment's very important lesson for you to learn. Letting go is this moment's very important lesson for you to learn. Slowing down and being present too, because look at that, I kept reading it too fast, so that's something to do with it. We are not suggesting forgetting this lesson, because there's wisdom in that. We're suggesting that you move on and learn and actively replace this experience with completely different versions of the same theme. No more repeats. So I don't care if you feel very much like myself that you've really, like, wow, that was really hard, really difficult, painful, but I feel like I've closed the door on repeating that cycle. There's always something. So just, you know, where do you stop yourself? Where do you procrastinate? Where do you, where are you kind of like, oh, fuck it, look, because it drew me to plan, fuck it, let's go, but you're like, oh, well, I don't know, maybe I need to wait for the full moon or the new moon. Again, I think we know where I do it, right? I definitely do my work. That's why I get other people as a mirror to help me with my work ideas, because I'll just stall. So where's yours? And for energy, you know, divine masculines, where you're like, oh, I absolutely know where it is, and it's probably around allowing karmic energies, you know, again, romantic, friends, family, whoever, work, people at work, you know, being like the only time anyone ever does something about their life is when they're fucking sick of their own shit. Right, that's what made me change. And even when I was sick of the same things happened, it was usually because I couldn't work out why these things are happening, and then it's later down the line I'm like, oh, right. And it's usually you're around people that are not good for your energy, you know, draining your energy. And perhaps you could see it, perhaps you couldn't see it. You'll see it when you're meant to, you know what I'm saying? Right. Oh god, that's a bit controversial, but anyway, they're getting me to say it, and you got to be very mindful that, oh, I don't know, I feel like something just shot at my, I've put all that, what I have put up my nose is like Vaseline, so if you just seen, yeah, I don't know, anyway, that's hilarious, because it's like I can feel my hay, I don't know how, the windows aren't open. I need to get outside, I need to finish this and get outside, it's nearly 40 minutes. Yeah, because people have taken DNA altering things into their body. And yes, I know there's lots of people that have taken it and I've regretted it, and, you know, I've helped people with this. And I know there'll be lots of people out there that, you know, don't know me and are coming across. But what I'm trying to say is, like, those of us that haven't done that, like, you really do need to be careful about how much time you spend with people that have taken that, basically, because of what it does. Yeah, like, you know, the different thing, I'm being careful of the word, but, you know, things that are released, it can really zap you, is what I've found. Like, and you know, because it's like with me, like, I really need to, I'm being careful at, well, I don't see people in person that much anyway. Family, very close soul family, but even online, you know, I have to really watch with, like, how much of my energy, because I'm so telepathic, I'm so tuned in, it's just too intense, you know. And like, and that's been the way I've been the whole time, but I'm just so, it's so much more intense now, that's really why, uh, I'm being guided to change my whole work around, you know what I mean, in the way that I do things, the way that I offer things. So anyway, just see what I mean. Like, when I go into all that detail, it must be because there's other people that are coming across this at some point, even if it's much later down the line, that have got a bit of a similar background to me, you know, like helping other people, and to let you know if you're being guided to sort of, you know, maybe you're feeling extra sensitive around the way you work with people too. Right. Right. We are not suggesting forgetting the lesson, because where's the wisdom in that? We're suggesting that you move on, learn, and actively replace this experience with completely different versions of the same theme. No more repeats. And I did repeat that, ironically. So you need to do it twice. This is an opportunity to try something different. See, the magic takes place when you vary the approach. I'm kind of reading this quick. You must reconnect the opportunities you have. Staying attached to those patterns will simply make them come round again, like a thread being spun on a wheel. So this is kind of like what they're saying to me. It's like, this is why I wasn't joking when I said that's why my soul never chose to get involved in all these different romantic, serious relationships. I've never felt serious about someone, and well, apart from the obvious, and I wasn't even ready. So, do you know what I mean? I'm glad they didn't take me up an offer, but it's kind of like, and I don't think I did actually. You know, well, I did. I definitely did. Will you be my boyfriend? No, I didn't. Right, but it's kind of like, was I secretly kind of what, probably at the time. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, I never met anybody else that I wanted to be my boyfriend, because it's like, it's a bit of a, it's not a bit of it, it's a big thing to me. And I think some people just jump into these things willy-nilly. Some people jump into marriages willy-nilly. Sorry, it's true. That's what I'm saying, willy-nilly. But what I'm saying is, you know, obviously that is not most. I've like literally not met too many people's experience, and if I have, I bet there's some divine feminines out there that are quite similar to me, that have been single a long time, or similar to, you know, maybe not as long. Because I met some the other day. I think they've been single 7 years, and when they were saying it to other people, it was on a chat thing. They were like, "Oh my god, that's ages," and I thought, when did I fucking chip in that it's been 19 years? They're like 20, but it's kind of like, you know, it's not everyone's experience, but it was my experience, and I don't regret a thing. Like, that's how I was meant to live my experience. And so basically, but for the majority of people that have been in and out of relationships, I bet you can identify either in you, or perhaps it's in someone around you. It could even be your twin flame, where they have got into different relationships, and a bit of a similar thing going on. And usually for everyone, it's going to be that it was that level of where you were at. So I can think of people in my life where it's like, when they've attracted a boyfriend, it's like maybe they'd done a bit of healing work, but it's like they weren't quite